Hey folks, Jer here at The View with your daily Leeds news. Excuse the state of me. I'm working about 3 hours sleep. I can't get back on time. Jet lag. I'm getting old. That's all it is. I'm getting old. But let's crack on with the news anyway. There's a little bit floating around. And best place to start was with last night's under 21 job. Papa John's go. Papa John's trophy. Where Leeds ran out comfortable winners in the end. Shaky first half, 2-0 down in the first half, got back to 2-all, then up to 3-2, and then back to 3-all, and then the second half. Some excellent goals. Sonny Perkins, great game. Mateo Joseph looks like such a poacher. It was really, really good. Joffrey with two. Joffrey just looks every single bit the Premier League player. He stands out on the pitch by a mile. Just a presence about him. He doesn't look like a kid anymore. He looks like the finished article at that level. Cody Drama getting a goal as well. An excellent performance. And Darko JB, who's not mentioned in the goals, go out of your way to watch this game and watch the influence that Darko JB has in the game. His tackling is excellent in the sixth position. In possession of the ball, I think he's involved in every single goal in some part, or he kickstarts the move, or he's in the middle for a pass. Some of the stuff yesterday. And we talked yesterday and the day before about the lack of quality in Leeds' first team. Darko JB's passing is absolutely phenomenal, as is Sonny Perkins. Sonny Perkins put Joffrey through for one of his goals with an absolute threaded pass. Beautiful. Go out of your way to watch that game. It was an excellent game. Defensively, not great, but Leeds did only play with one centre half, moving people around. Did quite well, the defenders, in the second half. Sam Greenwood with a moment of petulance after a couple of nasty tackles. Tranmere were kind of trying to bully the kids. You could see that. There was a couple of lads, leaving boots in and saying things to them. You could see it was a real, effort to kind of wind them up a little bit. Sam didn't take particularly kindly to it and lashed out at a player and got himself a straight red. He was on a yellow card. Expected to see a second yellow for tackle. I didn't think it was a straight red, but the referee gave him a straight red. But again, that little bit of niggle that doesn't need to be there that comes in. It's a straight red for him, so it means he's going to miss games. Which is a shame because he was excellent in the game as well, playing in a deep line midfield role, and he's getting better and better in the midfield, and you can see it. So, a very comfortable win in terms of attacking anyway. Willie Gnonto had a very good game. His close control is excellent. I've never seen a player with balls stuck to his feet as tightly. He can get out of these little cul-de-sacs that he finds himself in, but excellent. I wrote down things like, Joffy growing up way above everybody else. Gnonto, close control. Sam Greenwood, red cards. Darko JB, just a class act. So go have a look at it. If you can't see the full game, the highlights should be on YouTube today. And if you watched it on LUTV yesterday, then you'll be delighted with what you watched because it was a really good game to watch. Shame the crowd was poor. The crowd was really, really small, which is a shame because it was a really good game. Joy to watch at the moment on 21's. Moving on then, so players that have been linked with Leeds today. There's a couple have been starting to pop up again. We heard a few yesterday. Josh Brownhill from Burnley, which is a surprise to me, apparently was heavily linked with Leeds during the summer. First I've heard of it. It's a £9 million link for 26-year-old who, when you say his age out loud, is probably the wrong side of what Leeds tend to look for. He said that Leeds and Everton were linked with him, both interested in him, but he was very happy at Burnley and he's playing some of his best football at the moment. You should be playing your best football. You're playing in the Championship. You were a Premier League player last year, so you should be playing at a much higher level than that. He's got 4 goals and 12 appearances so far for Burnley in the league. Been linked with a move to Leeds. Central midfield player. I don't know if we need him. I don't know if there's any interest in this at all or if it's just come up out of nowhere. So there's that one. Another player being linked with Leeds again, and this comes from Kevin Campbell, who's getting involved in some stuff now as well. Ryan Kent, just named it, keeps popping up every single transfer window. This one's slightly different. Kevin Campbell thinks he would be a perfect fit for Leeds and would suit Jesse Marsh's style of play perfectly. He said that the player has been a fantastic asset to Rangers, and is now looking like he's winding down his contract. Leeds have been linked with him several times. When Stephen Gerrard was in charge, some of the fees that they asked for the player were slightly increased on what you'd normally pay for a player in the Scottish Premier Division, but they insisted on getting a big fee from him. They could end up getting nothing for him now and losing him to Leeds all the same. His contract is running down and Leeds could approach Rangers as early as January with a pre-contract agreement, not to say that Stephen Gerrard won't do the same with Aston Villa as well. A player that has been linked with a lot of clubs. What I've noticed with Ryan Kent is he goes missing in big games. And there's one big game in Scotland and there's European games. He has moments of brilliance, and he's definitely a busy player. Maybe with better players around him, he would step up again. I wouldn't rule him out. But what I've noticed, and especially as an Irish person who watches those games with a Celtic interest, goes missing in those games, and you want him to be a bigger player there, especially in those games. So, but an interesting one, a name that will not go away. Speaking of names that won't go away, we're all about the segues. Massimo Cellino. So, an interview that was conducted with Mirko Antenucci, who I absolutely loved when he was at Leeds. I loved Mirko Antenucci. Of all the Italian players that came in, he was my favourite. I still keep an eye on what he's doing as well over in Italy, and he's still playing. So, he scored against Serie B side Brescia to beat them this week, and the article is labelled as got a measure of revenge over Cellino. Cellino, who bought Brescia and currently still owns Brescia, although I believe he's suspended over there again for tax regulations. What's new? But Antenucci was asked about his time at Leeds, and he said that if he had scored 12 goals in his second season at Leeds, that Leeds would have had to give him an automatic renewal. I remember this happening at the time. I remember Brian McDermott wanted to play him, and Redfern being involved in this, and Leeds been told by Cellino that they weren't to play him. He said in December he was on 8 goals, and Cellino had ordered the management to stop playing him. I know they broke that and they did play him a little bit. He said he managed to get to 10 goals in the end, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to renew the contract, and Leeds let him go on a free back to Italy. And he said he regretted that because he enjoyed his time at Leeds and was hoping to spend longer at Leeds. That he enjoyed it there. I always thought there was goals in Antenucci. I thought it was an unusual deal. I know his age was a concern to him, but he was still scoring goals, and he's still scoring goals even Serie B level now. I think it's a barrier, so still doing it. Things we want to see got rid of. Well, Adam Forshaw has an opinion, and VAR has come up again. Adam Forshaw was doing an interview where he's been speaking to Danny Murphy, and he's called VAR an embarrassment. He said that if it was his opinion that he would get rid of VAR, and so with most of the lads. He said most players want it got rid of. He said it's more infuriating when you're meant to be fixing decisions that are black and white, and even with technology they're still not black and white. And he said so you'd rather go off an opinion rather than technology, because if the technology is still getting decisions wrong, it's kind of an embarrassment. So pointing out that some of the calls that VAR have made this year have been wrong and incorrect, or they've not looked at stuff. Somerville's penalty claim against Brentford being an example of that as well. So he has been quite outspoken on this and said that if he could have his way, he would get rid of VAR. So there you go. And that's pretty much it for floating around today. So, folks, great win for the under-21 team yesterday. Go check it out. It's a good game. The commentary gets a bit bored at times because there's no atmosphere in the stadium, and you understand that. But the game is excellent. They were excellent. Josh Brownhill linked with Leeds. Ryan Kent linked with Leeds again. Mirko Antenucci talking about his time at Leeds, and Massimo Cellino. Go look for that article as well. It's a decent read. And Adam Forshaw calling VAR an embarrassment. Fair play, Adam. I agree with you. It is. So there you go. That's your news. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.